Hello my stitchy friends, welcome back to another Flosstube video. Today is Monday, August the 9th, I think. I'm going off memory here. So I have got a lot to show you guys. I have got to get my camera, my camera angle fixed. Okay, I have got like 3 tripods. I just need to carry them upstairs. Okay, so what to start with? I guess I'll talk about plans first. I guess first of all, thank you to everybody who has watched my last floss tubes. If you watched any of my floss tubes and you've come back, thank you for coming back. I think it's really cool how everybody within the floss tube community is like a little family. So thank you for coming over to my neck of the woods. So, August plans. I have tried my best to get into doing summer type pieces. And I'm not a summer person, so about this time of year, I'm always over summer, and I'm over summer. So I have not messed with my summer pieces that much. I think that they will do better. I don't know why. I guess being a crafty person, an artsy person, I've always focused on stuff for the season ahead, kind of get me in preparation for that season. So I think maybe because I've done that for so long, it's made it to where that's what I do without consciously realizing that I do it. So I think my summer pieces that I will save and finish those up come spring, because when spring's here, I believe it or not, I do want for summer to come around. But right now, I am ready for fall, and I love all things fall. I love the weather, the colors, the events, the festivals, the fairs, I love it all. Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. It is my favorite time of the year. So, I guess what I'm going to work on, we'll go over this first. This is a free pattern that they are doing for World Cross Stitch Day. Stitchography. That's how they got it up here. I would say stitchography, but I don't think that's what they intend. But it's really cute. It's a free pattern over on Fat Quarter Shop. So I've gathered this. This is primarily a texty looking pattern. So I think this one will go fairly quickly. I'm almost finished up with my flea market flowers. And between it and trying to finish up the homely house plants for the rest of this month, I think I would be okay to throw this one in there. And it could be a finish. I'm really wanting to do some smaller pieces. This is a bigger one. It ends up being 7.5 by, or 7.875 by 7.875. But I think with it being words, I don't think it'll take nowhere near as long as the flea market flowers did. So I went ahead and got this one. This isn't one of those that it's not really seasonal, so I think I'd be okay to put this in my whips to rotate without it being a seasonal basis. The next thing is Fat Quarter Shop is doing Bats and Boos Stitch Along. And this is a free one over on their website. So I printed this one off to do it. Part 2 is out now that shows the second part. So yeah, I'm going to try to work on that one. This is going to be, there's a lot of stitchers do Wicked Wednesday. I think Janet Jabber does Wicked Wednesday. So she works on a Halloween piece on Wednesdays. I think that's going to be the piece that I do on Wednesdays. And other than that, I have been really good this week. I did go and get this piece of Ada. It's vintage, and it's got some modeling on it, but I was amazed that it's only on one side. It's not on both sides. And I know that nobody's going to see it when it's framed, but I was purchasing it for the Bats and Boos piece, and it did not, the white didn't show up too good on here. And I wanted for the white to look really good. So I ended up, I dyed my own fabric for the first time this week. And I'm going to show you those pieces that, whoops, dropping stuff. So I dyed a total of 4 pieces. I don't know if you can see this. I don't know if it shows up well on camera. This was supposed to be gray, but it don't really look gray to me. It looks like a purplish color. Anyway, it didn't come out the color that I wanted it for too, but it's going to be perfect for the Bats and Boos piece because the gray and the white will show up on this. And then I dyed 2 more pieces of Ada, and I haven't ironed them yet, so I'm sorry, but that's what they look like. So they really look vintage and coffee dyed or stained and all that good stuff. I did actually use a red dye for that and not coffee or tea, so I will look forward to using those pieces. But it went really good. It wasn't as hard as I thought that it was going to be. Okay, more zippers. I have heard that some people don't like zippers, so hold your ears. Okay, so I've got my pattern printed out for the Bats and the Boos. And I'm not going to start this one until Wednesday. I'm really wanting to finish up the flea market flowers. But I'm really tickled with how well, look at how good all the colors show up on here. I mean, even the gray shows up good. Can y'all see it? So, yeah. So, I look forward to working on this one. Another zipper. I did get a zipper. A little bit done on my Festive Friday piece. So here is where I'm at. I ended up having to rip out. I had a darker, I didn't like the color combinations for this. So I ended up getting my own colors when I picked out my flosses. Mainly because I didn't like the color of the house on the pattern. But I got this darker brown and it's really hard to see. Anyway, I had done that on the truck. And, of course, you couldn't see it well. So, I ended up having to frog all of it back out. So, once I spent all that time frogging, and then I got this little bit done, I didn't get a lot done on Festive Friday as far as stitching goes. But, I'm on the right track, and I'm tickled with it. So, yeah. Look forward to picking that one up again on Friday. Zipper. And then the main thing that I have worked on, zipper, is my flea market flowers. Because my aunt has been done with this. And honestly, it is so much more stitching than I thought that it was. But it's going to be so worth it when it's done. But that's what I have been working on because I wanted to get this thing done. So I've only got to do this little bit of this flower and then this big one. And I am going to go back in here and fill in that with the red. But I am not filling this flower in. I did the lighter color. And it just doesn't pop that well. You can't even see the pattern. So I'm thinking, what is the point in doing the pattern if I can't see the color difference? So, because, let me see. This one right here, I don't know if you can tell on camera. There is a pattern in it. But you can't see it because the colors are so close. This one has the same color combinations as the other one that I was talking about. And you just can't see. It's just too close. So I'm not going to waste the time going back in and putting that. Because I think I can see it better like it is. So it is so close. So close. I want to have this one done by the end of August. Because I had said I wanted it done by the end of July. And it didn't happen. So I don't know how many hours I've spent on it. Because I'm not that great at remembering to write down and not write down. Zipper. But my aunt said it took her about 64.5 hours. And I'm pretty sure that she stitches faster than I do. So, there's that. And then I have got haul. So, I have been getting so many patterns. I'm having to put them in a notebook now so that I can keep up with what I have. So, my aunt and I drove about 3 hours to a place in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. 3 hours there. We shopped for about an hour and a half. And then we drove 3 hours back. So that we could look for some stuff. And mainly I went to look for linen. And the nice lady up there sat down and showed me how to stitch on linen because I've never done it before. So I got this piece of linen and it is 28 count light mocha. And I did get another one, but I've already kitted it up. So I will have to show you that next time. I don't think I'm going to start on it before next week anyway, so we're safe, but yeah. Okay, so I'm going to show you, if I can find it, the things that I got when we went up to that store. So, I got Little House Needleworks Gingerbread Street. And I told you guys, I'm over these great big pieces that take me forever. I want some small pieces that I can finish up. I'm also wanting to make pillows and stuff. Small little pieces that I can put on a tier tray to decorate in my house. So that is what I went and got. This is a Lizzie Kate piece. That one's super cute. I think that one will be a quick skit. A quick stitch. Then I got this one from Foxwood Crossings, and it's called Better Roads. I feel the hand of God leading me down better roads than I can travel alone. So there is that one, and I can't wait to stitch that one. And the next one I got was Be Thankful by the Cricket Collection. That one's cute. I think that one will be pretty quick to stitch. And then I got another one by the Cricket Collection called Autumn. And we laugh because my daddy loves summer. My daddy will get outside and it blistering hot. The hotter the better. He loves it. Like if he doesn't have to go change his clothes when he's outside working at least twice because they're soaking wet, it's not hot enough for him. So I count down until autumn. And he counts down until spring because he doesn't like autumn and winter. But isn't that pretty? I love it. And then I've got another one kitted up that I use that other piece of linen for. It's called Let Them Be Small, and I forget who that is. But it's really a really cute saying. And I'm not going to go back in and get it because I honestly don't know what I did with it right now. But that is my haul that I've got this week. I've been really good. I primarily got those freebies, so that's good. And I've told myself if I get the Bats and Boos done by October the 1st, they've also got a Bats and Boos quilt along. And I've always wanted to have a Halloween quilt. So I've told myself if I finish the Bats and Boos cross stitch by October the 1st, then I can go buy the fabric to make me the quilt too, so that I will have it on my bed before Halloween. So I also picked this up. I'm doing the Common Threaded Stitcher prompts on Instagram. And everybody was talking about how they kept track of their time. So my aunt made me a book. Thank you, Aunt Linda, to keep track of all of my information, when I started, when I worked on them, the type of material, all that stuff. But because it's got so many patterns in it, I forget to pull it out. And I'm the type of person, I like a week-by-week calendar view, because this will keep me accountable that, okay, on Monday, I've been doing Mill Hill Mondays, and I'm going to have to switch that because I can't stand that paper stuff. And then Wednesday's Wicked Wednesday, Friday's Festive Friday, Saturday is Sow Ketchup Day, Sunday is Last Supper. So this will give me a way at a glance that I can see what I'm working on. And then over in my notebook that my aunt gave me is where I'll record all the details, when I started it, when I stopped. And I'm hoping that this will be easier, and then I can just total up. Instead of writing in that notebook every day, I'll just scribble on here what I worked on for the day and the amount of time that I think that it took. And then I'll just total up and write in my notebook about how many hours that it took for me to do it. But this is a skinny happy planner. And I seen this. Somebody else had done a prompt that that's what they use to keep track of their stitching. So that's my plans. That's my plans. So before I come at you next week, I'm going to start doing my floss tubes on Mondays. So every Monday, because there's just too much happens that I forget to talk about things. Next Monday, I want to have the flea market flowers finished. Bonus points if I've also got it framed. And then I'm going to start Bats and Boos on Wednesday. I'm going to work, if I get the flea market flowers finished before Saturday, I'm going to try my best to do a lot of catching up on that homely house plants too, because it is so close. And then I'll have 2 big pieces that I have finished up since I started in April. And I know that's not a lot for some of you guys that do like 80-something projects a year, but for a newbie, I think that's pretty good. And then my aunt got me a Halloween cross-stitch magazine, and I forgot to bring it out here, but it has got a lot of small projects. And so I have been buying up different things to be able to complete the projects besides just framing them. And I bought some stuff at Hobby Lobby today. So hopefully by next week, maybe I'll have one of those little tiny ones done and finished. And I'll try to remember to show you the stuff that I got today at Hobby Lobby. So, but anyway, that is today. Hang on one second. My son has been standing here for like 5 minutes wanting to talk to me. They don't want to talk to me until I start a Flosstube. So hang on. Okay. So yeah. So that's my stitching news. So I just started sharing about life updates. So I'm going to share about life updates because I love seeing you guys and all that good stuff. I think it's easier to get to know people that way too. So son has been in driver's ed for the last week. He started last Monday and he finished up his bookwork today. And because of COVID, it's all online. We sent him to a driving school to get all of his stuff. So he done his test today, his preliminary test with the driving school paperwork, and he passed. So now we're waiting for him to go and do the driving part of it. So he has to drive 2 hours on 3 separate days to get his time in. So he doesn't turn 15 until December. So even though we've got to get all this done and out of the way, he still has to wait till his birthday in December to get his permit. But because of COVID, they're only doing appointments. So we have to get online. And I got on there today to look to see if they were scheduling for December. And there's only dates out through September. So as we get closer to December, I will be checking on there to get him an appointment so that he can go and get his permit on his birthday. So that's where we are. This mama ain't ready for that. I am not ready for that at all. Because I used to investigate fatal car crashes. And I've looked at tens of thousands of crash reports, and I've seen some stuff, and so because of that, I'm weird about who I let drive. Anyway, if I'm in the car, I cannot stand my husband's driving. I drive everywhere we go, because if not, I need to take some pills. Yeah, so I don't know. I just want him to be a safe driver. I'm not worried about him, like his decision making. I'm worried about other people. So, because he's really, he's a really mature for a 14-and-a-half-year-old. So, he's had a lot of responsibility in his life already. So, good kid. But I'm still not ready. So, that's that. We started school last Monday. So, we've been in school for a week. Because Justin has been doing the Zoom classes for 5 hours a day. That's been his school. We've not started his school yet, but the 2 younger ones, my 10-year-old and my 8-year-old, we have started their bookwork. And yeah, so we're just continuing on this week with that. And really, I don't have anything going on. Like, it has already started cooling down here. Like, the sky turns a different color here in the fall, and it just has a different feel to the air. The smells are different. And for the last couple of days, it's really felt like fall is already coming in. So I hope that we're going to have some early fall weather. We will see. But we've got a couple more camping trips scheduled. We love to go camping. And then our summer will be a wrap. But other than that, that's about it. Today is Infusion Day for my middle son. He has, I said I'd talk about that on the last video, but he has a condition that he was born with. We did not know it until he was 6 years old. That's when we got him diagnosed. But it's called X-linked agammaglobulinemia. And I think the short name for it's like Bruton's disease or something like that. But basically, it is his body doesn't make antibodies. So, for normal people, a short breakdown, because if you're not scientific, you probably don't want to know, but when we get sick, we have got antibodies in our body lining, like our nose, respiratory system, our sweat, inside our digestive system, our lungs, our nose, our brain, all these other things. We have linings on all these organs, so that if we breathe in something, or we eat something, or something gets through our skin, those antibodies go in and fight the thing off before we actually get sick. So my son doesn't have any antibodies. He doesn't make antibodies. The body is supposed to convert B cells into plasma cells. That's where the antibodies come in. And there's something wrong with his body to where there's like a switch supposedly that flips, and his body doesn't flip the switch. So he stayed so sick for the first 6 years of his life. We didn't know what was wrong. He would get sick, get an antibiotic, and get better. And then 2 weeks later, he'd get sick, get an antibiotic, and get better. And this went on and on and on and on. It is a long story. I have a video here on my YouTube about it, about his story. You can go watch that. I'll try to remember to link it below. But he's been getting treatments for 4 years now, and he's doing good. And he used to hate infusions, but he's at the point now where several days before time for infusion, he feels really bad. He stays sick on his stomach, and he's like, Mama, I'm ready for infusion. So, yeah, he's ready for infusion, and today's the day. So I also authored a children's book for other kids that get diagnosed with his condition, and it's on Amazon, and it's titled The Boy Who Stayed Sick for 6 Years. But that's about him and about his story, because we try to educate everybody that we can. So if you know somebody that stays sick a lot, or they have a hard time getting better when they're sick, or they have to take antibiotics a lot, you need to check into a primary immunodeficiency, because that's what it's called. So yeah, but he gets human plasma injections either in his, right here in his arm, in his belly, or in his legs every 2 weeks. So, and it keeps him a happy camper. So that's about it in our life. The pool has been cooled down. They've not got to swim so much because, like I said, the fall weather is definitely here. And other than that, I'm ready. I'm ready for fall and winter. Oh, and I did decide, if you watched my video last week, I've been in school for my master's degree, and I started last December, and then my plan was to do full-time all the way through till my degree was conferred in December of this year. And I told my husband, I've had a little bit of a wrestle with my professor for the last 2 classes. This is my master's degree. I've took a lot of college classes. I have never, ever, ever had an issue with a professor. Ever. And I've not really had an issue with us communicating. It's just his teaching style drives me nuts. It just drives me nuts. And that's all I'm going to say about that, because I need to be nice. But I called the school today. I'm like, I'm burnt out. I'm so burnt out. I said, if I wait, because I'm on week 7 this week. So I've got the rest of this week and next week. And then I'm starting classes again August the 23rd. And it's 2 classes at the B term and 2 classes in the D term. And once the semester was over, I would be finished with my degree. And I was like, look, I'm not feeling these classes. I'm burnt out. I'm done. I want to cross stitch. I don't have time to do nothing. If I wait until the spring semester and do my degree, could I still graduate in May? Could I still walk at commencement? So we got to looking at the dates, and January the 18th, I think, is the first day of classes. And then my last day of class would be May the 6th. And then graduation is May the 7th. So she said I could do it, but I would need to communicate with my professors to be able to finish the classes before time for graduation, so that they could see that my grades were in, and all that good stuff. So I said, I'll do it. I can do it. Because January, February, and March, cold and flu season with my son having his health condition, we don't go anywhere. And so I'm sure that with COVID, it's not going to be any different. Like, we're almost like a bunch of bears. We go in hibernation. So I've worked since I was 14 years old, and I've been a very hard worker. I've worked a lot of hours. I've had stressful jobs, 911 dispatcher and engineering, where you couldn't take holidays off. So I just want to enjoy the season. I want to slow down. I got 2 more weeks of school. I'm going to take a vacation until January with the schoolwork, so I can just stitch. I can enjoy life. So I've got from August to December that I can just enjoy fall and Christmas and Thanksgiving and all the things. So that is all of my news. I have rambled, but I'm still at 24 minutes, so I think I'm doing all right. But anyway, if you've got any comments, y'all share below. Let me know if you've got a Flosstube. I have seen that quite a few of you have subscribed, and I go and check you out, and you don't have a Flosstube. So I am checking anytime I get a new subscriber. So Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next week on Monday. Have a good week.